Here it is, Tuesday, May the 7th. Time is passing us by. I'm not going to tell you a long story. I had a couple of thoughts in my head, and I thought, I want to run this across my viewers. And the first, I want to tell you that today is also my oldest sister's birthday. Now, if she were still living, she would be 107 years old. I just can't fathom that many years. But you see, she was the oldest of us 7 girls. Well, actually, she was the oldest of 13 babies. You can imagine what that was like for her. She would be like any of us. Mama, do you have to have another one? Well, that's kind of how it was getting to be with her, because she was starting to feel like the second mother to the rest of us kids, being the eldest, and I, of the living children, was the youngest girl. Oh, she wasn't happy when I was born. She was 19 years old, engaged, and was getting ready to get married in another month. Now I can look back and kind of picture what that situation would be like. A little bit on the embarrassing side. Inez's mother is going to have another baby. Yeah. When she's already had, I don't know how many. I was number 10. That can be embarrassing. And when I was born, she wouldn't look at me. She would not go in the bedroom and look at me. And Daddy got a little disturbed over that. My daddy had a manner about him that all he had to do was clear his throat, and you backed off and hid behind the door. No child of his was going to act like that. He made her go into the bedroom and see the new baby. That was me. Well, she ended up being the one who named me. She named me Patricia Fay. When all through school, every teacher would call me Patricia Ann. Why did they assume that because your name was Patricia, your middle name had to be Ann? Not in my case. I was Patricia Fay. Now I will tell you this also. Not just to be bragging, because it's a fact. My sisters were beautiful girls. I used to look up to them and envy them and think, oh, I wish I was that pretty. But Inez was the oldest, and she was, without a doubt, the prettiest of all 7 girls. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of her. We never had a chance to take many pictures, but I'm going to show you this one first. Wait just a minute. Let me get it just right. Here we go. And I think you will agree. This was her high school picture. What do you think? She had the prettiest blue eyes and raven black hair. That was my sister when she was 17 or 18 years old. I think she's beautiful myself. Now the next picture, this is also same age. Look at that. Of course, you can't tell much about the picture. It's one of those that you've had to doctor up a little bit and increase the size and whatever. But even at that, you can look at her. She's a beautiful girl. Now, the next one. This one I love. I look at her. I see Hedy Lamarr. Tall, slender. I think she would have made a good model. Never in all my years did I see her an ounce overweight. She had black hair, and she was probably the most outstanding one of all of us girls. In fact, being 19 years older than me, she was kind of like a second mother, because Mama was pretty strict about us kids, and there were so many things we wanted to do going through school, and Mama would say, no, we can't afford it. And Inez would say to me, don't worry about it. I'll see that you get it. I'll see that you get to go. And when she said that, she meant it. And she would approach Mama, Mom, you've got to let her have the new dress. You've got to let her go to the party. That was my sister Inez. I wanted to get that off my chest first because today's her birthday. Okay. Today didn't start out too well. Well, it started out okay, but I reached the point, I said, I need to go to the grocery. I'm out of Dr. Pepper. I can't be out of Dr. Pepper. And the weather report was storms coming. And I'm looking out, and I better get there now, because all over the southwestern part of the state, they just had storms and everything. And I didn't want to have to face that without my Dr. Peppers. So I go down, I get in the car, punch the button. Now, you don't turn the key in this car. You punch the button. Nothing. The car won't start. It can't be the battery. I had a new battery and had to have it replaced. So this is a brand new battery. Can't be that. So I had to call AAA. It took about an hour and a half, 2 hours later. AAA got here, and he got me charged up. He said, just let it run for a few minutes before you start out. So I did, and I drove up and down 2 or 3 streets to make sure the engine didn't die on me right in the middle of traffic. So that started the day off. Got my groceries, came home, and for supper, I had, let's see what this is. It says garden vegetable spreadable cheese. One of these little things, you know, like that. And I got some new crackers. So that was supper. Crackers and dip. Cheese dip. Pretty good, though, but I'll be going back because I've got some fresh strawberries that I put sugar on them. And gosh, I ate them last night with butter pecan ice cream. I could have eaten the whole carton, if you know what I mean. One of those times. Oh, it was so good. I just put a big gob of strawberries on top of that. Couldn't get any better. And I'm not gonna say I won't eat it tonight, because I've been known to go against my own words. I probably will have another dish of ice cream and strawberries. So much for that. I have my TV on. I work on my iPad, turn on my TV, with no sound. I figure if anything's going to happen exciting, I can grab my remote control and get the sound on and see what's going on. Well, guess what movie is on? And I know you've seen it. We've all seen it. Cary Grant, Eva Marie Saint, North by Northwest. I don't care how many times his movies have been on. I'll watch them again. In fact, I watched one yesterday. Was it? No, watched it today before I went to the grocery with Natalie Wood and Robert Redford. What woman can turn down a movie that Robert Redford is in? And I'm telling you, he was so young that I almost didn't recognize him. Got to take a little cough here. Okay. There he is. You know, the setting was at Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. That's right. I kept looking at that big old building and thinking, where are they? Where are they? Oh, that's right. This was filmed at Mount Rushmore. Well, the reason I bring this up is because I've been to Mount Rushmore. I went with a family back when, just about the time my mother died, 30 years ago it has been. They were going to, come on. Anyway, we were going to see where my brother's plane had crashed in 1943. The family that was going with me, we were flying out together, and their father had been killed in the same plane crash. So, okay, we've been to the airfield, and we're going to be going back again for a big program the next day. But we wanted to go to see Mount Rushmore. All right, we're in a van. There are eight of us in a van, and pulled up, parked. Well, I don't need anything. I just jump out of the van, left my purse in the car. I'm not going to be buying anything. And I looked up and I see those famous heads carved out of that mountain. You can see all the pictures and all the videos you want, but it's not the same feeling you get when you're standing there on the steps looking straight up at those faces. It's a strange feeling, really strange feeling, but it's a good feeling. So we kind of divide up, and I'm inside where where you can get refreshments and I think maybe lunch, whatever. And there was an author there. He was showing his book, children's books. And I go over and I look, and at that time, my grandchildren were young. And I stood there and I'm looking at his book that he's selling. I think, well, I ought to buy one of these books. I think maybe I was going to buy two of them because you got two granddaughters and two grandsons. And so, okay, I want two of the books and I want you to sign them to me. Put my name on them. He signs his autograph to Pat, so forth and so on. It hit me. I don't have any money. what have I done? He signed those books to me and I don't have any money. I left my purse in the van. There was nobody in that group of 8 of us that I could spot anywhere. Where are they? Where are they? I was so embarrassed I didn't know what to do. How was I going to handle that? I had to pay for the books because it's signed to me. And I was apologizing and, left foot, right foot, what do I do next? And finally, one of the group, I spotted her. Oh, I ran. I grabbed her and I said, you've got to help me. I said, I just bought 2 books and I don't have any money with me. My money's in the van. And of course, the driver of the van was all way up there staring up at the presidents. And he had no idea I was desperate for money, you might call it. I was so terribly embarrassed. I just didn't know what to do. So the one in the crowd handed me, she had plenty of cash, so she handed me the money so that I could buy the books for my grandchildren. Now, that was the story I was going to tell you about Mount Rushmore, and it has no connection whatsoever with Cary Grant and Eva Marie Saint. But I will tell you this. I've seen all of those movies, the ones with Audrey Hepburn. They're classics. That's all there is to it. Now I'm looking to see if I wrote something else down. Put a little note to add to my story, but I really don't have anything else to add to the story. I just thought, well, I've got to watch Cary Grant because, they're going to come out and climb down off of Mount Rushmore. And I kind of enjoy being reminded of my trip. I like watching him and Eva Marie Saint in this movie and getting to see Mount Rushmore again. A lot of people have never seen it. It is, I don't know how to describe what it is like. It is one of the scenic sites in the United States that if a person has the chance to see it, they need to go through South Dakota and see Mount Rushmore. Now, there's also the Indian Chief's Head. We could see it from the Air Force Base there. We could see that big Indian Chief's Head 10 miles away. But it was just partially carved. I don't know if the man doing the work ever finished it or not. I should have checked to see if the Indian's head is completed. But when you can stand and look at something that's 10 miles away, that's been carved out of the side of a mountain, pretty exciting. So, I don't know of anything else to tell you today. I'm thinking about making some vegetable soup. I got today, well, actually yesterday, and I said, I can't think of anything to eat. I've got this, that, and the other in the refrigerator, but I don't want that, and I don't want that, and I've had that too long. So, what did I decide, even after going to the grocery, what did I have for supper? Alouette, garden vegetables, spreadable cheese. Well, now, for somebody that's supposed to be a good cook, a pretty good dinner. But just think what I'm having for dessert. Got butter pecan ice cream with sweetened strawberries. I might even let you watch me eat it, and you'll be wishing you had some too. So I hope you appreciate this little story, and I did want you to be introduced to my oldest sister, and tell me if you don't agree. She was a beautiful woman, and she died of cancer. But she was like a second mother to this old girl. So that's that for today, and I'm going to sit back and wait and see if we're going to get those storms that they're talking about. And maybe it'll pass on by. So you have a good night. And I want to tell you this. One of my viewers commented on a video I did last Christmas. Not this Christmas. I don't know when it was. One of the Christmases. And I watched it. And you don't like to brag about yourself, but when you don't remember what you told in a story, and you sit and watch yourself telling that story again, and you don't remember what you were saying, so you're glued to the screen, watching yourself as if it was the first time this had ever happened. And you know what? I liked the story I told. I didn't know what was coming next. It was just like it was the first time. And I thought, that was a pretty good story. I'm going to have to go back and watch some of my old stories that I did 2 years ago. 2.5 years it's been. Almost 2 years, 2.5 years that I've been doing this. And I cannot believe I had that much gift for gab. My sisters would say, yes, you do. But I didn't realize I had remembered so many different little stories that they're not important stories. They're just memories. That's it. Just good memories. And I like to share them with you. And I love everything you send me except when you say, that's boring. Yeah, I got one like that. But that doesn't matter to me because look at the thousands that enjoyed the story. To one that said, that's boring. I'm not going to tell you which story it was either. So you have a good night. And thanks for putting up with me all these months. I'm going to stay with you as long as I can think up another tale. Oh, and I wanted you to see. See, I got my silver glasses that match. Let me show you something. You're going to like this. I lost my black glasses. They may be in another purse somewhere. But black rimmed glasses are just good basic glasses. Look what came in the mail today. Don't you love them? I do. I think these glasses make anybody look pretty. So, you can order them too from Etsy. Or, I don't know if I ordered them from Etsy or eBay. But on either one of them, you can find these pretty glasses. Of course, these are just reading glasses. But when I put these on, they felt just fine. I'm going to be wearing these a lot. I hope you like them, and you have a good night. Thank you.